So hi, how are you, grammarian? Today we are going to discuss subject, verb and object. These are extremely important terminologies in English grammar. Okay, so we have a subject in a sentence. We have a subject, we have verb and we have object. Subject is the doer of action. Okay, the doer of action means the one who performs action. We have verb which shows action. Okay, the subject perform action, and we have object, the recipient of action, means it receives this action. Okay, the subject perform action while the object receives action. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss subject means the doer of action. The doer of action, okay, mean the one who performs action is known as subject. Okay, so subject may be noun, it may be pronoun. Like if I say, it may be noun like Ali, like Hassan, etc. And it might be pronoun, like you can say I, we, you, and so on. Okay, so now I'm going to write few examples here. Like suppose if I say I am going to, okay, so this one we have subject, because who is performing this action? Okay, who is performing this activity? Who is the doer of this action? Who is going? Of course I. So I is a subject and I perform this activity. Okay, it might be known like Hassan is going, and so on. Okay, so Hassan is subject. So subject is the doer of action in a sentence, and it often used in the beginning, while in active passive voice sentences, like in passive voice structure, then subject is used in the last of a sentence. But in active sentences, in simple sentences, subject is used in the beginning of a sentence, like in simple sentences, I, Hassan, etc. and so on. Next we have verb. First we are going to discuss verb. Okay, so verb shows action, the activity which is in progress and the activity which is performing. Okay, activity which is performing is basically verb. Okay, action. And who perform this activity? Of course a subject performs this activity. Now we have like for example, if I say Ali is singing, and so on. Okay, no, Ali is a subject, we know it's who performs this activity? Ali. But the action which is in progress, okay, of course singing. Okay, so this is verb, this is action. Okay, no, we have two type of verbs in a sentence. We have two type of verb. One is we have physical verbs. Okay, you should remember it. And second, we have mental verb. Okay, in a sentence we have two type of verb, physical verbs and mental verbs. Okay, physical verbs shows dynamic action. Dynamic actions means movement and body movement. Yes, and we have mental verbs which shows passive actions. Okay, you can say static actions. Okay, so in this we haven't any action, any physical action. Okay, in mental verb we haven't any body movement. Okay, so for example, we have example number first, like she is considering an application, and so on. Now look at this considering, there isn't any physical activity in it, so you can say this is mental verb. This is static action. If I say like second example, we have Ali is cutting the tree. Now look at this example, cutting. Cutting is a physical activity. In this, the body movement is in progress and he's cutting the tree. So this is, you can say, physical action. So we have two type of verbs in a sentence. We have physical verbs and we have mental verbs. In physical verbs, there are body movement and there are dynamic actions like cutting, drinking, singing, dancing, and so on. So we can say in dynamic actions we have dancing, we have singing, we have running, walking, eating, drinking, and so on. And in mental verbs we have like thinking, like think, like sleep, like you can say, there are so many mental verbs we have in which there isn't any body movement, there isn't any physical action. So when there is a physical activity, physical action in progress, we can say there is a physical verb, while the rest of we can say mental verbs. Okay, so verb shows action, while action we can say two type of actions we have physical verbs and mental verbs. We have dynamic actions and we have static actions in a sentence. Okay, it's extremely easy. Next we have object. Okay, object. Now what is object in a sentence? Object, you can say, object is the recipient of action. The recipient of actions. Okay, it receives action. It receives action. When a subject perform action, okay, the object receives that action. Okay, the object receives the action. If suppose I say he is going to school. Now look at this example, he. This is subject pronoun. Okay, subjective pronoun you can say. And we have going, which is verb. And we have school. Who receives action? Where is he going? Okay, who will receive this action? Where is he going? So of course school receives this action. The school is object. Okay, like suppose if I say he, let's suppose Hassan is playing cricket. Okay, now Hassan is a subject, playing is, you can say, verb. But which one verb? This is physical verb. Okay, because the activity is not static, it's a dynamic activity. Going is also dynamic activity. You can say this is physical verbs. Okay, and cricket is an object. Yes, because cricket receives this action, playing. Okay, next we have she eats the meal. Okay, so she is subject, we have eats, this is verb, but which one verb? Physical verb. And the meal we have object. Okay, because who receives this action? The meal, you can say. So we are going to discuss further types of object. Okay, we have two types like direct object and indirect object. Okay, direct object and indirect object. Okay, direct object is mainly non-living things. You can say non-living things. You can say these are some products or whatever. Okay, and indirect object are usually these are persons, and you can say living things. Okay, living objects like indirect object receives direct object. Keep in mind, indirect object always receive direct object. Okay, for indirect object, direct object is extremely important. Like I'm writing here an example, like I brought a doll for my daughter. Now look at this example, for my daughter. Okay, now look at this example. Suppose if I say I brought a doll. Now I is a subject, brought is verb, and a doll is object. But here in this sentence we have two objects. Object number one, a doll. For my daughter, another object, we have object number two. So I brought a doll. This is non-living thing which I brought, and of course this is direct object. Okay, this is direct object. Okay, and who receives this direct object? My daughter. So my daughter is, you can say, indirect object. Indirect object always receives direct object. Keep in mind, for indirect object, direct object is extremely important. Okay, so in a sentence we have two types of object: direct object and indirect object.